Hi, this is Justine, and I'm doing my second video on using K-cups to start your seedlings in, to recycle them, and then how they came up and transplant the plants once they are older and need to be in a bigger container. So you take a regular K-cup, you take off the foil, you can cut it off, whatever, you empty out the coffee. I'm not going to do all this now. But basically when you take off the foil, you end up with looking like this. It's got the one hole in the bottom. If you take the container and you go around in a circle in the K-cup, your Keurig machine, you can end up with, this is one that I've already transplanted. See how I decided from last year that 4 holes were better than the one. So I've been planting them with the filter still left in. These are ones that I have planted. These are all tomatoes here, and you can see how they've come up. I decided from last year, some I tried with the coffee, and other ones I just did with the seedling soil starting mix. And I like the organic soil better. I think the coffee itself was too acidic. So and here's some that I have transplanted already. So I got like my Bella Rosas. I planted them differently. I planted my longer, my late tomatoes earlier, like 2 or 3 weeks earlier, and then I planted my early tomatoes. I actually put the dates on some of them. I put the dates on. I did these on the 30th of March. I believe I started the other ones in the beginning of March. My peppers here for some reason didn't do as well this year. I have my Romanian rainbow. I have the Bulgarian carrots, and then I have my Anchero peppers at the front there. I have just a fluorescent light, 2-bulb light here that I have suspended from a chain, and so I'm getting the natural sunlight from the window, plus I augment with this so they don't get leggy. I did not put a plant bulb in there. These are regular fluorescent bulbs. And I also have my plants outside there. I have a pallet, 4 pallets put together with a pallet about halfway up in the bottom, filled it with, put the fabric liner on it. The weed, it's actually for keeping your weeds down, but I lined with that and then filled it with soil. And right now I have onion sets and lettuce in there. And this is April 16th. I just have it covered with a screen. These are old screens. I actually got those at Home Depot for $0.01 a piece because they were damaged and they were discontinued. And I will cover them at nighttime with plastic, or I have old ceiling tiles downstairs that I will use when it gets too cold and take it off in the morning. Just like I said, big recycler. So I have here what I do. I don't know how I'm going to do to put this down. Put it over here. Basically, I take the plants out. I'll be able to do this and show it. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can bring it in. Because I leave the filter in, I take something, you can use a pencil or whatever. You have to cut around the top edge to remove the filter. Then I pop out the tomatoes. Sometimes you can pull that filter. You can see how the roots are growing around. I try to rip that gently so I don't disturb the roots too much. And you can leave it in there. And take that big piece off, put them in. This is just Miracle-Gro potting soil. Put them in there. I have it a little bit half full with the soil, and then I top it off with more soil. These are Russian 117 is the name of these tomatoes that I replanted. As you can see, I have a couple replanted. I'll put them in my foil trays here, and probably the end of May they'll go outside. Usually May 15th to May 30th, depending on who you ask, is our last frost date. So if I do put them out earlier, I will put them out with some bottles of water, or you can get those plastic bags they sell to protect them from the cold that you fill with water. And that's how I start my garden. So I hope you have some green fingers and use some of these recycling tips with the K-cups, because they do work. But like I said, you can only get plants up to a pretty good size before I transplant them. So they have their second leaves on them, and those, like I said, those are the Bella Rosas. And I marked down that they're a determinate plant. They're a 75-day plant, and that's the date that I planted them. It's nice with the K-cups because you can write everything on them. These Jiffy pea pots, you can't. I do write the names on the plants, but it is harder to read afterwards, so you have to make sure you use a Sharpie, dark color, black or blue, and when you water them, this does get darker, so it's harder to read them, but I try to keep all the plants together so I know, and I also mark the container that I put them in, just in case it runs off of that, so I know whether I have my plum tomatoes or my cherry tomatoes and everything. I plant them in certain sections of the garden, so just to keep them a little more organized. Happy gardening.